Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, John. Got Big Tex Johnson. How y'all doing this Saturday, brisk Saturday up here in Northern Virginia? Pretty cool up out here. Right now, watching this Minnesota Penn State joint. Might be a little upset brewing here, but we'll see. Still mad early. I'm gonna probably be all over the place. It's been a couple weeks, y'all. It's just a lot of these things coming up that I've already spoken about, talked about. One of the hot topics right now that I've seen is this whole thing with Mitch Trubisky. I told y'all. I told y'all almost 2 years ago. First and foremost is, it's like your best quarterbacks obviously in the ACC was that of Deshaun Watson and that of Lamar Jackson. And this guy just started and whatnot. Oh my God, that was a hell of a play by Minnesota's wide receiver. Y'all got to see that. Y'all got to see that. But yeah, y'all got to see that. That old boy, he reeled that one in. But yeah, and now Trubisky, because last year, got to give kudos. He played solid football last year, but that's off defense, a lot of emotion with the Khalil Mack thing, and all that. But things are just not going the way they're supposed to be going. And I'm not really a firm believer in the young man. For him to go the way he was picked at, I didn't agree with that. How do you, as a GM, not just a GM, as a franchise, pass up on Watson, Mahomes in that 2017 draft? I don't understand how you do that. I really don't. People say, oh, the guy, he this and he's that. I'm like, you know what? Again, like I said, it made no sense to pass up on Deshaun Watson. And again, this goes back to something I say all the time. And I don't try to make it to be that way. This is just what it is. But unfortunately, race still holds a particular thing at that position. No other position at this particular, at quarterback, because quarterback is the face of the franchise, leader of the team, right? Face of the club, and the whole 9 yards. And at this particular point, they still do not want to see that in certain places. Now, you just think with the defense that Chicago has with and then Deshaun Watson on the other side. Think of the defense that Chicago has, and you have Pat Mahomes over there. People say, well, Pat Mahomes came out of Texas Tech at Big 12. Arm talent don't come around like that, partner. Like I said, I've been watching that kid. I saw huddle highlights of him back when he was in high school at White House in East Texas. And I saw that kid's arm and said, this guy's sick. Unfortunately, he goes to the Big 12, and everybody knows I'm a Texas guy. But, ain't nothing going on in the Big 12 and some of them different places, all them schools and whatnot, because they don't play no defense. I don't know. When I was coming up, you played defense. But that's another story for in itself. But that's what I'm talking about. How do you pass up arm talent like that? How do you pass up guys like that? And then you pick a guy who made all ACC third team and nobody even knew who he was, and you make him that particular pick for your franchise. Now, did they win the North or whatever like that last year? Fine. Yeah, okay, they won it. He was solid last year. I give him that. But he's regressed this year. You're talking about someone right now at 3-4 record. He is 136 in 216 attempts. 136 completion, 216 attempts. 63 completion percent at only 1,217 yards. You got running backs is almost close to that. And 5 touchdowns and 3 picks. He has not been explosive. He's not been all of that. You know what I'm saying? None of that. And that's something, I'm like, they're going to have to take a hit for that. Now, he might blow it out the next, we'll see. But you had an opportunity to get 2 franchise quarterbacks. And they're balling out right now, doing good things for their franchise. And you could have been there because Chicago's defense is sick, or at least was sick. And now you got to deal with that whole situation when you could have had somebody that could have been making plays. Which brings me to my next topic. Because I'm doing a plethora of different things. Because I'm going to probably come in, who knows, I might end up doing 4 or 5 videos a day or whatever. I'm watching all this college football, all these good games and stuff coming on today. So I'm going to be back and forth doing that and whatnot. Which brings me back to what I told you guys a couple of years ago, or about a year ago. All of a sudden now, these quarterbacks no longer, I tell y'all, now Josh Allen, he runs around. Was Josh Allen known for being a dual threat quarterback or a running quarterback when he was in Wyoming? No. Big arm guy from Wyoming, big strapping guy? No. He looks good. I'm not taking anything from him. But I told you guys a few years ago, or about a year ago, at least 2 years ago, I said the day of the quarterback sitting back there, you know what I'm saying, with bricks on his feet and just throwing the ball out of bounds or whatever. Well, I don't run. I'm just going to throw it in the dirt. No, you can't do that no more. You have to make a play. So quarterbacks have to make a play. For the amount of money that they get paid, yes, a few guys still sit up in there or whatever, but for the most part, if you're trying to really get something going on, now I say, oh yeah, he's athletic, he's this, he's that. All the things now, these quarterbacks are all of a sudden, guys like Josh Allen, they're athletic, they're this, they're that. But why is it seem like it's shunned when it's a Lamar Jackson, when it's a Deshaun Watson, when it's whether it was a Vince Young, whether it was any of them type of guys, Russell Wilson or whatever, saying that, no, if I'm paying you $20 million a year, you need to go make a play somewhere. This is the dual threat. This college football is in pro football. I've already told you guys that. I've already told you that. Just go document what I just go back and look at the stuff. Them guys have been following me for a while. You know I've already said that. I've already said that it's college football now, in the pro ball, which is why these guys are able to do the things that they're doing. You know, and all the things that they hold against certain players, certain black quarterbacks and whatnot, well, you can't do it now. Now you want your quarterback to be that way. You want him to be that way. But he's athletic, he's this, that, and that. But why is it with one aspect of it, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's it's a good thing. But when it's from the other quarterback, it's a bad thing. It holds up against him. Goes into my next topic. Now all of a sudden, Bill Polian running around here apologizing saying about Lamar Jackson. And Shannon Sharp said on FS1 the other day, he's just like, and I say the same thing. It's like somebody's been in the business as long as he's been in the business, he has something like that to say. And Shannon Sharp said that was being lazy. You don't throw for 3,000 yards and rush for 14 and 1,500 yards back-to-back years, basically, and you telling me that guy's a scrub? Didn't shock me that Baltimore beat New England. Hell, Cleveland could have beat them if they would have held on the damn football. The Bills had them to get on the football. They're running the ball. Nick Chubb showed right that we can run on them. They just kept fumbling the damn ball. And so that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's no surprise over here at ETFB. It's no surprise over here. I already told y'all guys that. These guys are the quarterbacks of the future. Dual threat quarterbacks is that of the future. You know what I'm saying? I've already told you guys that. I've said that. I've been saying that. Just go back and just look at the archives. And I'll let you, and you already know your boy's on top of his game when it comes to that type of stuff. You know, got this whole Cam Newton thing going on. It's a little disrespectful for my taste. Because I sort of kind of follow some of Kyle Allen because of being, like an A&M. I've had cousins and stuff going on. That's why I'm an A&M fan. And I'm, of course, obviously Texas Longhorn. That's, college team or whatever. But A&M, I've had, that's, the reason why y'all might have seen me in A&M stuff. But I had cousins, first cousins or whatever. My aunt, who was real close to me, who was like a sister to me and whatnot, her children got track scholarships and went to A&M, and they represented very well. And that's why, so I'm always following A&M, so I follow A&M as well. And it's crazy because it's like, you look at these types of situations, you look at these types of situations and whatnot, and what ends up happening is that, with these schools and whatnot, and just saying that these quarterbacks, right? When we go back to, like, when we're talking about your Cam Newtons and all them type of guys and what they're saying, and I'm saying all that because I go back and I know about Kyle Allen, and what he did and didn't do when he was over there. And that's why I'm saying it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this team now. and whatnot. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with this team. Because I'm like, with Cam, I think they should still stick with him. But hey, Cam would be a nice fit in Chicago. Cam rough. He can get you 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 yards in the air and get you 700, 800 yards on the ground. A grind out type thing. They're trying to make. Carolina. It's already obvious what Carolina is trying to do. And and people might say, "Oh, would you say you should talk mess about Christian McCaffrey?" I'm like, hey, he's balling. Now, how long he gonna be able to keep that up? That remains to be seen. But we'll see what happens with Kyle Allen when things don't go his particular way. Because me personally, because I think Will Greer is there, I think Will Greer is a better quarterback than Kyle Allen. That's just my opinion. But that's still Cam's team. But he may have to move on. And like I said, to go on about Christian McCaffrey, these guys balling, they give him that. You know what I'm saying? But we will see what ends up happening. I have no idea what's going to be going on with this whole Antonio Brown thing. I really don't like. I only like to talk about stuff on the field, but this thing just keeps hovering and hovering and hovering. And I'm like, dude, would you please just stay off of social media, just get ready to play ball? But I'm like, this is, and I will say this to the brother. He'll never probably see this, but if one of his fans see this. It's a saying that I was taught some years ago. Less said is best said. And when we talk about less said is best said, right? Don't say a whole lot. Just do what you need to do. Even if somebody signed Antonio Brown today, he's not playing this season. And he's not going to play. He's going to be sitting out 4 to 6 weeks the next season. So he's not playing. And what he needs to realize and what can happen, because this is what happens, and it can happen in the twinkling of an eye. If Antonio Brown does not watch it, he'll be a dude in the outside looking in, and before you know it, all his money is gone, everything is gone, and you look up, and that joker sit up there you look up, and that joker sit up there, and he'll be sitting up there holding up a damn 7-Eleven, trying to get some money. And people to say, boy, how the mighty have fallen. And this is what we're talking about, man. And this is, and again, this is, you don't want to see that. But if he does not watch it, that's what teams might jump out. But I'm like, he's going to have to go to a team that has a really very good quarterback. Because he will give hell to a team that doesn't have a good quarterback, and he will suffer. But, again, you hate to see that, but it's like, this is what happens, though, man. This is really what happens. He would have been very good with that at the Raiders, but I don't know what's going on with the brother. The brother, he's making confusing statements and stuff like that, but, this is what I'm talking about. What else I got? Yeah, man. I mean, I was kind of all over the place, just breaking. Certainly, I want to try to be making a thing on all of them because it really just making a film on all the different things I talk about. Just some things I wanted to touch upon real quick. But that's what I'm saying. Subsequently, that's basically what it comes down to and whatnot. And so, and again, here we got, and I'm gonna throw this in there and say, well, I see J.J. Watt is out for the season. Now, J.J. Watt is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, right? But to ever try to compare him with Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Deacon Jones? No. I don't give a shit about his size. He's not in the same conversation with them cats. Cats played a long time at a high level. I'm not giving him that. He's great. I'd have him on my team in a heartbeat. But at the same time, you want to get technical about it, I'm like, your body's been breaking down. Playing Paul Bunyan and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I've said this over and over again. Basically, Mark Gastineau, and for those who know about Mark Gastineau. But to talk about them other guys, no, it's not up there with them. He can't even stay healthy. And his body's been breaking down for the last 3 years. So, tough that he's out and everything like that or whatever, but at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson's team. And we'll see what happens with JJ, but out for another whole season. Not have much left, but, but I'm not putting him over there with them other guys. He's good, but he's not. I'm not putting him on the Mount Rushmore of defensive ends. He's not there. I'm not putting him there. All right? I'll probably be back a little later, y'all. We'll holler at you guys later. And like I tell you guys, there is no greatest of all time, no GOAT, as long as time's still going on. And like I always tell y'all, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do.